Welcome. In this video, you will learn how to control Home Assistant devices through the Alexa app using Node-RED. There are 5 parts to this setup: the Alexa app, the Node-RED Alexa skill, the Node-RED Alexa bridge, the Node-RED Home Assistant app, and Home Assistant. Ben Hartle wrote and maintains the Alexa Home skill and the Node-RED Alexa bridge. Please consider buying him a cold one through PayPal or sponsoring him on GitHub. We will start by setting up an account on the Node-RED Alexa Home Skill Bridge website. You can find the link in the description. From the landing page, click on the register link and fill out the form. Remember the username and password you choose here. We will need that later. Once logged in, click on the Devices tab. We'll need to add virtual devices for our account. These are what Alexa will see and be able to control later. To make things a bit easier to follow, I'll name mine Virtual Dining Room Light. A description is required, but it doesn't matter what you put here. Next, we need to check the checkboxes for the features our virtual device is capable of. Mine is an RGB bulb, so it has on-off brightness percentage, color and color temperature. The application type, of course, is a light. Now we need to add the Node-RED skill to our Alexa app. Within the Alexa app, go to the store. Then search for Node-RED and select it from the list. I had previously installed the skill, so I will just enable it. Now log in using the account you created on Ben's Alexa Bridge website. The skill will then attempt to link with the Bridge website. Once linked, Alexa will then try to find your virtual devices. If this fails, you can also ask Alexa to find new devices using a voice command. Alexa found our Node-RED virtual light. Set up your virtual device in the Alexa app as you normally would for any device. Then we can move on to the next step, to set up Node-RED on Home Assistant. From Home Assistant, go to the Settings menu and choose Apps. Then click the Install App button. Search for Node. Click on Node-RED, then click on the Install button. This can take a fair bit of time, so I'll skip ahead. Now that the app is installed, we should configure options. I recommend Watchdog and Show in sidebar, but they aren't required. Before we start the service, click on the Configuration tab. If you haven't installed an SSL certificate, you'll want to disable SSL here. Make sure you remember to scroll down and click the Save button. Now head back to the Info tab and click the Start button. You can watch the process from the Log tab. This is also where you will find messages informing you of problems while starting. The most common failure happens when you forget to click the Save button after disabling SSL. When the service starts successfully, you'll see the Stop and Restart buttons appear. Note that this is where you would restart Node-RED if you need to. Now click the Open Web UI button to launch Node-RED. There are some first-time options. Pause and read through these if you like. We can close the Explorer for now to make things cleaner. Then go to the hamburger menu and select Manage Palette. Then click the Install tab. Type Alexa in the search bar. Then find the Node-RED Contrib Alexa Home Skill palette and install it. This can take a fair bit of time too, so I'll skip ahead again. In the palette search bar, type Alexa. Now drag the Alexa Home node onto your flow canvas. Double-click the node to open the Properties dialog. Next to the account label, click the plus button to add an account. Type in the same credentials you created on the Bridge website. Back on the Properties for the Alexa Home node, if you don't see your device, you can close the Properties dialog and double-click the Alexa Home node to refresh. Now type Switch in the palette search. Drag the yellow-green switch function node onto your canvas. The switch function routes messages based on rules. Click on the output port of your Alexa Home node and drag to attach it to the input port of your switch. For the available commands passed by the Node-RED Alexa skill, let's go back to the website. Go to the documentation page and scroll down. Here you'll see a list of the commands with example data that we can use to set up our rules. Double-click the switch node to open the Properties dialog. For the property we want to test, let's change it to message command. Each rule we set up corresponds to an output port on our node. Let's set up rules for turn on request and turn off request. These have to be spelled exactly as shown on the documentation page of the website we saw earlier. Each of these rules now have an output port. If we hover over the ports, it will tell us which rule is applied. Now let's add an action. Type action in the search bar. Then drag the action node onto our canvas. Double-click the action node. Let's name our action node Turn On. Now we need to choose the Home Assistant action to trigger. Click into the drop-down and type Light to filter the list. Then pick Light.TurnOn. Next, we need to select the real Home Assistant entity to turn on. I named my RGB bulb Dining Room Light. It's a Matter device. Now click the Done button. Click and drag from the Turn On request output port of the switch to the Turn On action input port. Drag another action node into the canvas. We'll set this one up for the Turn Off action. We'll name this action node Turn Off. Then we'll pick Light.TurnOff as the action. We'll pick the same entity, my Dining Room Light. We can close this property dialog now. Just like the other, we need to link them by dragging between the two ports to make the connection. To save our changes, we need to click on the Deploy button. To test, we'll open our Alex A app and find the virtual dining room light we created and linked. We'll then open the user interface for that virtual Node-RED device. If we click the Turn On button, we should see a light turn on logged under that action. This indicates everything is working. Congratulations! If there are enough comments, I'll create another video to set up Alex A controls for set percentage request, set color request, and set color temperature request. These can be a bit more tricky to work out. Beauty, that's us done and dusted. Have a crack at it yourself, and I'll catch you later. Cheers.